All right. Hey guys. Hello, 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 hello to everyone in the world. Hello to our Coin Store friends and our audience from the Southeast Asia, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, Taiwan, Indonesia, US, and everywhere you are. Our Fireside chat is on today, and obviously we are actually streaming live in our Coin Store CS Live mobile application app and of course also in YouTube, in Facebook, and I've heard some cool stuff also going on in the Discord channel of Gala Games as well. Today, we're going to be, by the way, we're going to be giving away some cool airdrops from our Coin Store friends, if in case you ask cool questions during the live. By the way, my name is Coach Miranda Minor, and you can check me out in my social media channels, Coach Miranda Minor in YouTube, in Facebook, in Twitter, Discord, Telegram, Instagram, and all of those with grams on it. All right, I'm very privileged today because I'm going to be hosting the live in Coin Store channel together with awesome friends and special guests from Gala Games. I'm actually honored to be hosting side by side with our friends from Gala, Jason and Michelle. I'll have them introduce themselves. Maybe Michelle, you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, Michelle, I'm the Townstar Community Manager. I've been with Gala for, God, I don't know, almost a year now. It's been an awesome time. I learned a Filipino word today. It's Magadan Gabi. For everybody out there.
Someone speaking Filipino now. Say it one more time, Michelle.
Magadan Gabi.
All right. Type number one if Michelle did say it the correct way, guys. I think you did. Go ahead, Michelle.
Michelle is too humble. Michelle is awesome and a massively contributing member of the Townstar team and Townstar community.
All right. Thanks, Michelle. And the only reason I've asked Michelle to go first is because I want to take the honor to introduce a good friend of mine. I've met him in the Philippines Blockchain Week, a humble guy, awesome guy. I believe I believe that he's somehow Filipino too, by the way. A very, very cool guy. The president of Blockchain. His name in Twitter is Path of the Berserk at the Go Gala Games. President of Blockchain in boring speak for those who must have a title. Follow him in Twitter. Right? None other than Jason Brink, aka the Barbarian. Go ahead, Jason. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, Coach. Nice to see you again, man. It's only been what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. It hasn't been that long since I was last in Manila and we got to hang out. It is wonderful to see you again, and it is wonderful to talk to the Coin Store community as well as the Gala community that is listening in. Good Lord. It is early in the morning for me, and it is approaching the end of the year, so my brain is just about done. But yeah, as Coach said, I am president of Blockchain at Gala, and I am here today to talk about some of the stuff that we got going on, specifically surrounding Townstar and some of the other games that we're bringing to market right now. So good morning, everybody, and mabuhay to everybody in the Philippines.
There you go. I was about to teach you another Filipino word. All right. Also,
I know that one already.
Good. All right. Okay. So, all right. So, obviously, we wanted to, we've been also asking prior to our fireside chat today, our community about Townstar. We have a lot of questions in store for our guests for today. Maybe would like to obviously hear from you, Jason. Tell us about, everyone's, wanting to hear about Townstar. What is it about? What is this game all about? And I think from that, a follow-up question immediately is Gala. What is Gala Games? And, what are you guys in the market? Tell us about that.
Okay, so what is... I'm gonna do that in reverse order. I'm gonna talk about what Gala is, and then I'm gonna dig into what Townstar is. So Gala was founded a few years ago by a few of us, some of us who were from the game industry, such as our CEO and founder, Eric Schiermeyer is one of the co-founders of Zynga, and a few other people. And we basically did this because we believed that people should own the things that they purchase in games. So if you're going to buy a thing in a game, that should be your thing, and nobody should be taking that thing away from you. You shouldn't be able to, turn off a database and have somebody's items disappear. And so that was sort of the beginning of all of this. And then it grew from that into, looking at concepts like play and earn gaming and finding ways to build sustainable long-term economies and things like that. And we're a fairly large company. We've got about 400 people right now. We've got 28 different games that are currently in development. We've got 7 or 8 that are currently being play tested right now. We've got our own L1 that uses our token Gala as the gas fee. There's a lot going on. Now, Townstar. Townstar was originally created by Michael McCarthy. Okay, Michael McCarthy is a very, very talented game developer, and he was the I want to say project director for Farmville 2 back in the day. Okay, now he no longer is focusing on Townstar. He's off working on Miranda's. Okay, but what's interesting is that we have a gentleman by the name of Mark Skaggs who is currently building Farmville with his team, or building Townstar with his team. Now, Mark Skaggs was the creator of the original Farmville and won awards for it and things like that. So it is like the master of farm games, coming to create the new version of Townstar. Now, we originally released this game some time ago, and then last year we had, or actually, good Lord, 2020 now? Yeah, it was in 2020. We had earnings that were turned on. We turned those off in July because it was clear that the economy was unstable. We have refocused that. We're in the process of rebuilding the entire game, and I would like to announce that. And this is I think the first time that it's been announced on a live stream. So, woo. But the new version of Townstar with earnings turned back on should be live by the end of January.
Wow.
So that's it's going to be pretty cool. I think people are going to be happy with that.
So it's now going to be play to earn again.
There will be a play to earn component. Now, unlike the way that it was previously, which was a little bit of a token hose, which was kind of sort of the standard at the time. A lot of different games were sort of based like that with a quite inflationary economy. This is no longer inflationary. It's actually a deflationary economy. So the amount of tokens that get released on a daily basis depends on activity and engagement and how many tokens get burnt on a daily basis by the game. Originally, we had in circulation about 500, I want to say like about 560 million tokens. That is now down to somewhere in the neighborhood of, I believe, about 450 million. There's been a significant token burn that has taken place. And that number is going to continue to reduce as the game progresses based on user actions and things like that. So yeah, play to earn is coming back. It's getting switched back on, and I think people are going to be happy with that.
Absolutely. And you spoke about, you said end of January 2023,
Yep.
something that the community should look forward to, the coin store community should look forward to, my community should look forward to, everyone, especially who are into play to earn, win to earn, etc. So
Yep.
speaking of, you said about, Mark Skaggs, obviously, who worked for Farmville. For those that are new to Townstar, are you saying, Jason, that somehow it's kind of, from an infrastructure perspective, from the optics, from the look of it somehow looks like a Farmville for the most part?
No, it's quite a bit different. Farmville was very click heavy. You click to plant the thing, and then you click to harvest the thing, and then you click to do the next thing, and it's basically just you constantly clicking. So, and that's fine if that's what you want. Townstar is a much more cerebral game. Okay, it is a game that it's a little bit more like Factorio, in the sense that you create your town. There are things that happen in your town.
Sure.
You know, the wheat grows, the farmer harvests the wheat, takes it to the mill, and then from there they take it on to, you know, do all sorts of other things with it. You make bread, make whatever. Michelle's laughing at me because, you know, I totally suck at this game, and we've done live streams together where she's like taught me how to play. And she's amazing at it. I am not. But it's a little bit more like that. Would you agree with that statement, Michelle?
Yeah.
Please feel free to disagree if you want. But
No, you're totally accurate. That's fine. Yeah, it's more of a there's planning involved, and you have to
Lots of
think
planning.
about where you're putting things and how it's gonna interact with the rest of your town as you progress through the rest of the game and try to reach your goal.
Does it matter if, you know, where do you want to put your town in the map? Does it matter if you put it in a forest or in a near a body of water? Does it matter? Or because what I know so far, and the community has told me, there's this NFT that can lessen pollution. So if you're going to be near an area where there's a lot of pollution happening, that would affect the growth of your crops. So does it matter where do you put it there in the map, Michelle?
Yeah, the different edges and the different biomes do make a difference. A lot of it's personal preference. Some people like to play in the desert. Some people like to play in the forest. Some people like to play in the plains, you know. The edges definitely matter also. If you want a river or a saltwater edge or a mountain edge, those all give different passive effects to like just that one side of the town. But Land Rush, as it exists now, is going away, and it's going to be a different way moving forward, because Land Rush was kind of player limiting. A lot of people and a lot of bots coming in and stealing spots, and that won't be an issue anymore. Now it's just going to be a choose your biome, choose your edges, maybe random in the future kind of thing.
All right.
Nice.
By the way, to the community who's watching right now, the chat room in YouTube is running crazy. There's a lot of questions coming up. Guys, prepare your questions. We're going to be choosing questions in our channels. So please prepare, and I'll be giving a signal when we're ready to read your questions. I just wanted to follow up to what you said earlier, Jason. So obviously, from a difference perspective, Townstar is obviously more intuitive. You're building your community. It's not a click heavy. So is it something that I can just close and come back and it will work on itself? Is that how it works right now, or you still need to be there in your browser? And
this is the cool thing. That's not how it works right now. But it is how it will work in the future. This is the super cool thing. So basically, man, this is going to be slightly technical, and I apologize. But basically, the way that this works is that currently the old version of Townstar is client authoritative, which means that you have to have your window open to run it because it's running on your computer. You close your window, it's no longer running, so nothing happens. The new version, which is going to be released by the end of January, that's our target. The new version should have, or not should, does in fact have a server authoritative model, which means that your town is running on a server all the time. So you can close your window, come back to it later, and it will just continue running. I think that that's going to be a really good thing. It should lead to somewhat higher performance for the game, as well as a much better playing experience because you won't have to keep a browser window open. And really, really critically, it also leaves the door open for doing all sorts of other interesting type of platform things, like potentially building on mobile and whatnot, because it's running on a server authoritative model, not just your phone.
So you can close your browser and just let it kind of play by itself, and just go back, and obviously it will function, so to speak, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Awesome. That's awesome, right? Not going to be stuck in their browser. All right. NFTs. So I've kind of spoke about NFTs. Some example was pollution NFT earlier to kind of lessen the pollution of it. Is there any something I would say interesting or special about how we categorize our NFTs aside from functionality in the game? I know some play to earn also have their legends, their epic, etc. But how do you kind of describe our NFTs in Townstar today?
for starters, and this is one of the really important things, you don't need to have NFTs to play. Okay, so if you want to learn how to play and you know, get to the point where you're able to compete in, you know, games and contests and things like that, you can do that right now for free. You don't need to buy any NFTs. You don't need to play anything. You just follow the link, which I believe you've got down on your stream somewhere, and set up an account and start playing. And it's super fun. It's one of those games where you can absolutely get sucked into it. There's some pretty cool families in the Philippines where the whole family gets together and plays Townstar together, which is pretty fun. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you can categorize NFTs based on pure utility NFTs that have some changes in game, or have some effects that they, you know, perform in game, and then also NFTs that have a points value associated with them that is connected in a certain amount to the potential for earning potentially. So once that gets kicked back on, then those points-based NFTs, which are you know, still going to be integrated in the new version, will have some utility in there. I'm watching the comments too as well.
You're seeing
So,
a lot of chat.
I am.
Yeah, Jason.
Oh, there's also skins. Yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff. Am I missing anything, Michelle? I know that we're doing a cool fireworks thing, right? Do you want to tell them about the fireworks thing?
Yeah, let me pull up the information because I don't have it memorized. But we are doing another fireworks pack.
Don't have it memorized.
We are doing another fireworks pack sale. It's similar to the way the ornaments worked. So they'll be in packs, and there's 4 NFTs in each pack. It's randomized, so you may end up with all 4 of the same one. That's how random works. I had a fight with someone about that yesterday. There are also some North Pole Creation Labs in those packs randomly, which is pretty cool for anyone who didn't get one of those but wanted it. The utility of all the packs when you get them, 15% object clearing cost reduction and 25% starting cash boost.
There you go.
If you get the first 5, you get the starting cash boost, which could come in handy because that starting cash, it's a big deal right in the beginning of the game. And object clearing cost also always great for starting the game out. That's what we've got going on soon.
I gotta ask this question.
Go for it. Hit it, man.
I gotta ask this question, Michelle. Of all the NFTs you've mentioned, what is your most favorite one?
My favorite NFT. I mean, I do love the Salty Bot just because he's adorable.
He is. He's got a little corncob pipe. He looks like an angry little tiny sailor.
He is probably the cutest of all of the NFTs that I own. I think probably the one that I use the most is that Haunted West Wing. Those Haunted Mansion pieces that do passive crude oil to make gasoline faster. Really, really useful.
Okay.
I like the Elf Bot as well, just because he's also adorable. I'm a big fan of those.
It looks like someone made a comment. Farmville, come on, we're old. we're like, obviously we love those games. I would like, before we go with the community, I just have a couple of more questions for you guys.
Sure, man.
Do I need to love farming for me to love Townstar? What niche are we wanting to touch?
No, it's not. I mean, it's not Farm Star. It's Town Star. Okay, so you're building a town. You can build up to having a nuclear power reactor and, you know, mines and create steel and cakes and, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff like that. We even have, like, you know, magical boom canes and things like that. But I'm sorry, Coin Store Exchange. Yes, Farmville is old. We are old. I have gray in my beard. It's a thing. It happens. It's okay. It's going to happen to you too. But yeah, that's it's not just a farming game. It's a town game and an organization game. And if that's your type of game, it's super complex. And if you think it looks cute and you don't give it the respect that it deserves, it will break you.
Is last question for me before I turn it on to the community members. Please ask your questions. We're going to be choosing from the chat room. Jason, feel free to also choose your question there in the chat room yourself. One
Sure.
last question is, do you have timelines for Gala to have an app in the application store? And is there a potential for the Townstar to also have a mobile version of the game?
Yes, there absolutely is potential for there to be a mobile version of the game. I don't have a timeline specifically, unless you know something I don't, Michelle. But that's definitely something that we want to do. We just need to get the version out and stable in Godot first before we start looking at other platforms. But that's definitely something we do want.
Yep, we're definitely going to start with the desktop browser version, make sure that that's stable, then make sure the mobile browser version is stable, and then we can move on to app-based versions.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds
good. That is correct. I'm just going. I'm scrolling. You go ahead, pick some questions. I'm just going to keep scrolling through here. I'll answer them if they pop up. So
okay,
hey guys.
I like this question, and of course, I'll give it to you for the next one. People want competition. They wanted to play with other gamers, particularly potentially within the Townstar universe. Is there a way where we can compete with others within the town itself?
Well, there is already a competitive server that is running, but in the future, as more social features come online, there's going to be even more competitive. And then there's also, I don't want to get myself in trouble by saying something that hasn't been announced yet. That's too leaky, but there's definitely plans for that in the future.
Okay. John, while you're looking for the question, Jason, I'll just read some comments here, not questions. John said mobile app would be good. Yeah. The coming of the game, is it coming with the iOS version?
Not right away, but you will be able to play it in a browser-based version on your Apple device. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit more friendly than the current version is, because the current version's a bit wonky.
Okay. All right. I think you've answered this already. Okay, and just to kind of emphasize, it's a free game. You can enter for free. It's a free.
Yeah, you can enter for free, and you can start playing and practicing today. This is not a thing you have to wait until the end of January for. I highly recommend you go create an account at Gala Games and try it out. And while you're there trying that out, try out some of the other games as well, because we've got a bunch of stuff coming. And some of them are in playtest right now. So definitely go check it out.
All right. All right. Miranda, do the same, guys. No, I mean, let's all go and obviously type in app.gala.games, in your browser. We could obviously access Townstar, create your account today. After the live,
go for it.
Listen to Jesus, of course. Listen to Jason. Listen to Michelle. All right, go ahead, Jason.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna rapid fire hit some of these questions, okay? And some of them are going to be a little bit. I feel some questions get a little copy pasty, but I'm going to go ahead and see what we can do. Dusty, where can you see updates about the game? Go to gala.games and you will be able to see updates. There's also blog.gala.games and you can see updates about all of our different games. We've got a bunch of updates coming for Spider Tanks right now, which is another currently active game with play and earn functionality within it. So check that out. Let's see. Would there be room for community players that are coming together to interact and give opinions on the game? Discord. Join our Discord at galagames.chat. and that's Prince Akodi there. Join our Discord at galagames.chat. We have an extremely active Discord, tons and tons and tons of people in there, and Townstar is one of our most active discussion rooms. It's a little bit overwhelming for me personally because there's just so damn many games that are there now that people are talking about. So it's very difficult to keep track of everything, but hop in there. How does the burning mechanism work now? So this is a great question, and it actually dovetails in with a question that was being asked a little bit further down, I believe, which is essentially how does the economy work? So there were previous games that existed. Axie is a great example where the economy was not able to handle the number of players that were coming in. Okay, and basically what had been done, and this is a problem that we had with the initial version of Townstar, and one of the reasons that we had to pause earnings and are getting ready to relaunch, is that there was a set amount of token that was to be emitted based on certain actions. Okay, and what this means is that the more actions are taken, the more token is created. The more people who come to take those actions, the more token is created, and you have this problem where you have the supply run up as a whole bunch of people get involved in the game. Now, that's not sustainable because eventually what you get is a whole bunch of people making a whole bunch of actions and the entire economy gets blown out. So what we've done is we've changed it. We switched over to the concept of a point-based system where you perform actions and it gets you a certain number of points, and then there's a certain pool of tokens that gets distributed across those points. Okay, now the reason that this is important is because the way that the number of tokens that is distributed is determined is it's based on the number of tokens that are burnt by users in the game. So if you pay a token to speed up a timer, okay, or if you pay a token to buy an NFT, or if you pay a token to do anything, that token doesn't come to us, it gets burnt. Okay, and then a smaller number at the end of the day, that total number of tokens that is burnt and is added up, and then a smaller number, okay, is re-emitted. So X gets burnt, X minus Y is what gets released back based on the point system. So what you get is a continually decreasing number of tokens based on the people who are playing. And it's one of those things where if nobody is playing the game and nobody's putting tons of or nobody's putting tokens back into the game and burning them, then no more tokens come out. And so it keeps it so that you have an ecosystem that is always fairly stable and doesn't burn out and collapse. There is the ability within that to have like bonuses, for example, like we could do like a double points weekend or something like that and increase supply slightly. But that would be for a user acquisition type of thing, and is not something we have planned anytime soon. So that's the basic answer there.
So there's no minting of tokens unless the gamers would do an event or activity within the game itself.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of games, and I think that makes sense. I mean, it does not make it inflationary because obviously,
Jasper Punzalan asks a question about Gala. Okay. Is it true that 85% of coins are not on the market? Now, this is okay, Jasper. You don't have to copy and paste the same question again and again and again. I'll answer the thing. No, it is not true. There are still the numbers for CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko are incorrect. We're working on getting that corrected right now. That said, this is about Townstar and Town, but there's your answer.
All right. Hey, Jason, before we move on, let me just say that whenever you choose a question, people are really happy because that means something for them, by the way.
I know.
There could be some cool prizes, and that's probably the reason why people are copying and pasting questions.
I know. It's just always funny because it's like, oh my God, I'm answering your question. Okay, let's see. What else?
All right,
Are you watching this, Michelle? by
Is
any
that
chance?
just on the YouTube video? Is that where we
Yeah.
are?
Yeah. Is there anything that jumps out at you as being something you'd like to answer?
I will look.
Monster. Yes, we're planning on releasing an app eventually. That's not a huge. I don't have a date for that, but it's definitely a thing we want to do. Laurel. Yes, the new Townstar version does use the NFTs from the previous version. Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
Let me see here.
While you guys are looking for it, let me just say some
Yeah,
folks
go
are
for
giving
it.
good comments. So thank you. Please go to app.gala.games. You just look for those games, guys, and start downloading them or creating your account rather, not download. Go to the browser, create your account, connect your Google accounts there, and start playing. Jason, I like this question about maybe there's a lot of questions that are related to it. I've been
Yeah.
seeing some versions of the question change, but I think it all boils down to security. People
Yep.
just want to talk about that, want to talk about the security of the game and maybe some related topics of it. Maybe give us
Sure.
the
I mean, one of the reasons that we do what we do, right, with the blockchain space is because we believe security is an important issue. So, you know, we have all of our contracts go through audits. We have, you know, contracts with some, I believe we finalized a large white hat contract so that, you know, some of our internal work is being, you know, put out for white hat hacking, you know, competitions with rewards and things like that. You know, we're very, this is something we take very seriously. And we also just integrated as of 3 days ago the ability for you to connect your own Web3 wallet, so you don't even necessarily have to use our wallet system at all. You know, so you can use your Trezor and things like that to hold your Ethereum based NFTs, which is pretty cool, I think.
Okay.
What will Towncoin utility be in the future? Why create a new coin when Gala will suffice? Is it correct that the more NFTs you place down, the more Towncoin you can earn? Okay, this is from Holly Dijon, I believe, Lagura. So Town is the coin for rewards within the Townstar ecosystem. When we initially released Towncoin, we had not, the parts of the economy were still in flux. And when it was an inflationary system, we did not want to have Gala be the token within that, because then it would make the coin or the game itself determine the minting of Gala, which is not something that we would ever want to do, right? Because it has its own mint schedule. It's very separate from that. So that's where Town came from originally. For future games, we are using Gala on a deflationary basis, and we're not doing additional currencies for other games unless it becomes clear that they need it for some reason for the economy to work or to have some additional functionality. So that's why. Where did it go? I'm glad you liked my TEDx talk. You guys can go check that out too, by the way. I hope you enjoy that. Is it correct that the more NFTs you place down, the more Towncoin you can earn? There's a little bit of nuance to that. Some of the NFTs are points-based NFTs that will potentially give you, you know, earning. And yes, the more of those you place down, the more potential earning there is. But there are also a lot of NFTs that are just utility NFTs. And if you actually look at the NFT description, it'll tell you which is which. Jensen Milski says upcoming games have beta tests. Yes, absolutely. Join our community at galagames.chat and you know, hang out there. We announce beta tests all the time. We have, what do we have in beta right now? I know that we have a few things in beta. Let me actually look.
Oh, I've got
In
Champions
beta.
Arena.
Say again?
Champions Arena.
Champions Arena's in beta right now. I think we have Legacy in beta.
Yep. Echoes of Empire.
Legends in beta. Legends Reborn Superior is live on Steam and in on our platform. Spider Tanks is fully live. Echoes of Empire is currently in beta as well. We've got a lot going on right now. So I highly recommend that you go check that out. Let me go back to the YouTube chat here. Okay, there we go. Do we have an anti-cheating system? Yes, of course there is an anti-cheating system. And it catches people trying to cheat all the time and then banishes them to outer darkness, and they are sad. And then they submit angry support tickets saying, why did I get banned for cheating? I didn't cheat. And then we're like, look, you totally did cheat. We can see it. And then they get upset and sad. So yes, we definitely we definitely do stop cheating. And Clifton, you know, we don't like multi-accounting, and if we catch obvious multi-accounting, we do nuke those. So I highly recommend not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, the new game will also be server authoritative, so there will be much less cheating than there is on the current live game, which is client authoritative. So people won't be able to just jump into their browsers and type in scripts and give themselves money and points like they can currently.
Yeah, yeah. Jules asks, what is the difference between Townstar to other NFT games that people think are Ponzi's? A lot of games in the space are really, really bad. You are 100% correct. A lot of them are very, very bad. The one thing that I would encourage you to do, okay, is to look at the game, look at its track record, okay, and look at how the potential rewards are structured. If there's a game that looks like it just prints money, it's probably too good to be true. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Okay. What we have here is a game that's designed to be long-term sustainable. And it's not going to be something that is, you know, you're not going to, you know, go buy a car once a week with what you get out of this game. That wouldn't be sustainable. It's built in a way that is sustainable. You can get something out of it. And when it goes live, you'll be able to get something out of it. But it's not like the pumponomics crypto bullshit games.
Right. And I think tokenomics, at least for me, and I've covered many play touring games, win touring games in the Philippines. Tokenomics come after your love for the game. I think we all gotta love the game. You all gotta be passionate about it. You gotta love, you know, how that lumberjack walks and kind of, you know, puts the gas in your truck, etc. You gotta love all of that, Miranda, because when you love your game, tokenomics follows, and I mean that. Because if you do the tokenomics first, it becomes, you know, your motivation is obviously. I don't know. Maybe that's a good question, Jason. Right? I mean, what's your thought about that? Right?
So the way that I look at it is like this: is that the reason that we play games, and if you go back in history and you look at, you know, early human settlements and things like that, one of the things that you find very commonly is game boards. Okay, humans have played games forever. Okay, games are a critical part of what makes us people. The concept of play is one of the things that makes us people. Now, this is important, okay, because obviously when you add in some sort of economic incentive, things begin to change a little bit. Okay, but for a game, the core should still be play, not anything else. And so, you know, when you look at a lot of other blockchain, quote unquote, games out there, they're not really games. They're, you know, financial simulations. I mean, even if you look at some of them, like Wolf Game is an interesting example. Wolf Game was designed specifically to simulate the risk and rewards of, I believe, the equities markets. That's like literally the whole point. And then they put some gamification on top of it. And that's fine, but it's not the same as an actual game. Okay. And this is what makes a really big difference in my mind for everybody, because, you know, we're building games that are fun games for you to play. And they're for you to, you know, do some of the things that make you human, not just for potential economic reward.
Sounds good. And Jason and Michelle, I would just also like to greet our CS Live community. We have 5,000. I was just informed 5,000 people watching on CS Live today.
Wonderful.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All
Hello,
around the world.
Coinstore Live community. Let's see here. Mirandus and Townstar. Rasty's talking about Mirandus. Mirandus is super cool. You're gonna like the next playtest. Is it possible to play these on console? Not currently. Townstar is not really the type of game that would be a super console type game. Does rental of NFTs user to user become real? It will in the future, yes. Do you have Pinoy in your team? Yes, we do. Can a player upgrade abilities and capabilities using some tokens or coins in the game? Not in the current version, but in the future version, yes, there is the concept of all sorts of different things. Some of it's not going to be implemented right away, but things we're talking about are being able to upgrade your NFTs, you know, to give them additional functionality, you know, interesting things like that.
Jason, I like this question. I'd like
Sure.
to know your thoughts too. Will this support scholarship like guilds in the future? Is this going to be something possible to sustain through guilds?
So it could. It could. As a lot of you guys know, in the very beginning, some of the guilds and things like that with people playing Axie exploited people a lot. Okay. So we wanted to build things from a perspective that it did not make a guild necessary to play, which is where, you know, some of the concepts of like NFT rentals and things like that come in. However, that said, one of the things that we are talking about is giving people the ability to loan out their NFTs to other people, to essentially take an NFT, lock it on chain, and delegate its usage to another user. Okay, so that other user then gets to use the NFT, and if there is some sort of reward that comes from that, then it gets split automatically. But what we don't want is a system where you have a bunch of people creating different accounts and things like that. I feel that is that would not be beneficial.
Okay, a question from Coinstore app. Jason, what is the payment period that TownCoin follows? Does it release rewards in real time, or is it based on a weekly schedule?
It's a daily schedule. It will be a daily schedule.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and the reason that it has to be daily is that we have to know how much has been burnt in any given day before we can know how much is going to be released.
Okay. Icebox says, will there be another Mayhem or similar event in Townstar?
Yeah, a lot of them. There's a lot of things. There was a question here. Where did it go? Okay, Jensen Milski, I wanted to ask if this upcoming games will just depend on the players, you know, to sustain the game, or do we have other plans? We're building all sorts of new things constantly, and the key here is bringing in people who want to play. Okay, it's not one of those stupid things where it's like, you know, a bunch of money comes in and then, you know, that's used to pay other people. Like, that's not how this works. We're making, you know, real games with real players, and that's the whole point. Right now, it is a browser-based game, Patrick, but that is something that will possibly be changing in the future. Is Townstar available for everyone? Yes, Townstar is available for everyone. I think there's some countries that are geo-blocked for legal reasons, but chances are, if you're watching this, you're not one of them.
Okay. App Store, sorry, Marketplace is a good question as well, Jason. Marketplace.
There will be a marketplace in the future. There will be a marketplace in the future. I don't want to give a timeline for that, but yes, there will be.
Okay.
Lemon asks, what are plans for raising awareness about our various projects in the non-crypto space? We have extensive advertising that is going to be kicking off here, specifically targeting at Web 2 users, because now as we are finally getting some of the wrinkles ironed out in our entire sort of our onboarding process, we'll be able to bring in Web 2 users much more easily, and that's going to be a main focus.
Do I need to hold coins just for me to earn rewards, Jason from CS Live?
The previous version required that you have a certain amount of town power in order to place earning NFTs. I am not 100% certain if that is included. I don't know if you know, Michelle, if that is included in the next version. It is, or it isn't,
No.
or you don't know.
No, it is not.
It is not.
Gala
Okay.
Power and Town Powder are not. They're not required to earn any longer.
Okay, perfect. So then that should be a no then.
Okay.
Jasper would like to know how to work with the Gala community. Join our community at galagames.chat, and it's where we do most of our hiring actually is from the community. So come hang out, be useful, be friendly, help other people, and you never know what'll happen. Right, Michelle?
Yes.
Jensen, mobile user friendly. Yes, this is mobile user friendly for the most part. You do not need MetaMask to play, but you can if you want to. And we don't do scholarship models ourselves. What you guys do is your business, but yeah. Will we have fun in the game? I hope you'll have fun in the game. It's a game. That's the whole point.
I certainly have fun in the game.
You do have fun in the game, Michelle. It's yeah.
I have a blast.
It's crazy. Yagi Yang asks about the next 5-year vision. And then you say, "Are you kidding?" I feel like you're saying that you can't believe people are asking that question, but we do have a 5-year vision, and it is substantial. That said, especially in this space, you never know what's going to happen. So that's one of the things that we don't do is we don't do like roadmaps, like detailed roadmaps that say, okay, all of these different things are going to happen. And the reason for that is that you never know what is going to happen. So it can get very it's difficult to predict exact timelines in this space. Which wallet can be used to connect? You can use either the Coinbase wallet right now or MetaMask. You don't need to, quote unquote, invest anything, email. Just go play the game, see what you think.
Yeah. Jason, this is my question actually. In terms of attracting people that are obviously used on play to earn games, obviously good that we're going to be having this January, end of January announcement or development, right? So the play to earn is going to be turned on. Do we think we're potentially, at least from a lens of Gala, are you guys going to attract those that are new to play to earn, or do you think we're going to be potentially
we'd love to.
already existing?
I mean,
Do you think it's going to be a new market?
both. It's going to be both. I mean, we really want to. It's one of the reasons that, you know, for example, recently we launched a game, Superior, is built by a wonderful company called Drifter. We launched that on Steam because we want people to see how much better the games that are coming out of you know, for our publishing, how much better they are than other games in the space. You know, I think that we are head and shoulders above pretty much any other blockchain gaming company out there, in terms of the quality and quantity of titles that we're working with. So yeah, I think that's a really important thing for us is, you know, people who come from outside the play and earn space. Like, if you're getting paid to do something, you'll do a crappy, boring thing because you get money. That's called having a job most of the time. And there is not a person on the face of the planet that has a job that is not sometimes crappy and boring, right? But it's a job. It's not a game. And so this is something that we really want to differentiate. We want games to be fun. And that's the key, is that if it's not fun, you shouldn't be playing it.
You know, you spoke earlier. You know, what I like about this game is obviously the leadership is not new to the gaming world itself. I know, Jason, you and I have spoken when you were in the Philippines. I know some folks in Zynga used to support them from a CS perspective.
Right.
You know, I think it's also good to ask investors on the game. Are you guys attracting investors to go on? Obviously, 5 years from now, you're saying about vision, but you know, are you guys, you know, within the team self-funded, or you also have investors?
Oh, we're self-funded. Yeah, we are self-funded. You know, obviously we sell things, we sell NFTs, and the community buys those, and you know, obviously that is an important component to this as well. You know, in the past, I've said we haven't taken any VC funding or PE funding, and people have been like, "But I bought NFTs." I'm like, "Well, it's not quite the same thing." You know, because when you take money from a VC or a private equity firm, they own part of the business and they get to help decide how to run it. You know, and so that's a very different thing from, you know, just buying an NFT. But we're self-funded in that regard, and we're not looking for investors in that sense. So yeah.
That's interesting. All right, so I know we're kind of down 6 minutes for the Fireside chat, Jason and Michelle. For those that have just joined our chat today, maybe I'd like to ask again this opportunity to inform the community, Jason, of what's up and coming this end of January 2023 for Gala Games. And please, you have the floor. Do the honor to tell us what's happening. Thank you.
Sure. So we've got Townstar coming back as a play and earn game, launching on an entirely new engine with a target by the end of January. That is what we're aiming for right now, and it's going to be something that I think people are going to get really excited about, because they're going to see exactly how awesome this game can be. And it's been a long road to get us to the point where we are at now. We shut off earnings July 19th, I believe. And so now, just over 6 months later, which is what we had originally set as our timeline, we should be launching the new version. So I'm super excited about it, and everyone can learn more by joining our Discord at galagames.chat, and also following us on Twitter. You can follow us at Go Gala Games, and then I believe it's at Townstar Game, right?
Yes. Yep.
Just double check.
Yes. There in the spaces every Friday.
Perfect. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's what's coming.
I just want to ask this question, just a follow-up. Jason,
Sure.
Are you guys going to give any classic NFT from Gala in this show? I gotta put it out there in case you have any.
Didn't we give you guys some NFTs to give out? I thought we did.
There's
Um,
okay. Okay. So let
I
me.
don't remember what we said. I don't.
Okay. So let me rephrase that question. So for those that are asking, I actually just said it earlier. I forget. Sorry about that. It's on me. We're gonna be giving airdrops in a few for some of those people that have asked great questions in the show today. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying, Jason. Sorry about that.
No problem. No, it's just it's very difficult sometimes to do a an interview or an AMA or something like that, because I do like 3 of these a day some days, and showing up to do them and not knowing what the exact details of things are. So yeah.
Right. And by the way, just for everyone's information, where Gala is a global community, they're not in the
Yes.
Philippines. Jason is in the coldest city. Well, not coldest city. He's actually in
No.
Vancouver.
No, that's
Awesome city.
I'm in Vancouver. It's not that bad here right now. It's only -12.
It's so
Um, it's only -12 Celsius right now, which isn't that bad. But I think that
Camerata,
everybody. Go ahead.
If you live if you live in a city with -12 degrees, can you comment below how would you feel? I want Jason to read this. I
Yeah,
want him.
I'd love to see, because yeah, no, it's really funny because I will go out. It's -12, and I'll still wear like shorts and sandals. And so I'll be out walking in the snow in shorts and sandals. And everybody here looks at me like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" Because my family's from Montana. Okay, so my family's in Montana right now, and it is negative, I want to say 54 where they are right now. Like
54.
-54 Fahrenheit. So I don't know what that is Celsius, but it's brutal. And so, with that, me -12 walking around in sandals, no problem. It's fine.
So someone said Mevelyn Ramirez, 23 degrees centigrade is already cold for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have people watching from Canada. In Calgary, it's -40 from Faith.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Calgary. Oof.
Oh, wow.
It's above
Oh,
50 in Nigeria. Oof. See, I don't do hot, man. I will take the snow any day over 50 degrees. Like, I can't. Oh my God. Jules, my heart is -100. Ouch.
oh no, Jules. You gotta play more games. Someone said we'll play Halo Halo. Halo Halo is like your ice with some sweet on it in the Philippines.
Ah,
Halo
okay.
Halo, right? Put a lot of sweet tasting candies, etc., inside, and put some ice on it, and you know.
Okay, I'll have to do that. We have plenty of snow outside right now. I'll just go get a scoop and we're good.
All right.
And
Okay, I
and
think this
Mark,
is a
maybe you
very
have
good question.
hyperthyroidism, probably.
Yeah. Jason, I like this question. Why is it called Gala? Where is the Gala name coming from? I think it's a good
So
question.
a gala, and it's kind of funny because I always forget that this is actually a word, but a gala is a party or gathering amongst friends. And so anytime I see something about, the Met Gala or, a gala dinner or something like that, I'm like, what? There's a gala thing? I didn't know about this. And it really cracked me up the other day because Donald Trump had his NFT drop, and they had part of the advertising was that if you bought a certain number of these, you would get sent to the Trump Gala. And I was like, what? We have nothing to do with this. What's going on here? It made me laugh.
All right. Okay. Anyways, you know what? I know that 1 hour is kind of short, especially if the topic is really, really good, isn't it? Right. So, However, there's always obviously time for everything. And I'm sure the friends that we have in this call are also extremely and equally busy like every one of us. So at this point in time, I would just like to maybe ask again our guests for any parting words that you would like to leave our audience today, watching all around the world, from Canada, from Nigeria, from the Philippines, Singapore, etc. Maybe we'll start with Michelle and we'll end up with Jason with last few words, please. Michelle?
Yeah, you should definitely come check out Townstar. We've got a lot of big things going on. We've got a competition starting on the 27th. 4,500 people can get rewards from that. It's a tree farm ghost card. It's going to be really important in the future, so definitely check it out. Got earnings coming back relatively soon. New game launching, new game engine. It's going to be much better support. It's going to be a smoother game. It's going to run in the background. It's going to be awesome. So definitely get in now. Get practicing.
And I would invite you guys all to join our community. Honestly, I believe that we have the best community in crypto. Join us in Discord at galagames.chat. I'm even thinking about reopening the Telegram. I don't know. Every time I do that, I always think it's a terrible idea, but maybe it's a good idea now. I don't know. But yeah, so join our community, galagames.chat. Follow us at Go Gala Games, me at BitbenderBrink. You are at Pharma Michelle, aren't you? Correct?
That's me.
On Twitter. Follow us, and yeah. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. DMs are open.
All right. Thank you, Jason and Michelle. And for me, of course, if you actually would like to get to know more about CoinStore, please visit CoinStore and look for them in our mobile applications and also in our browser. Awesome family, awesome guys. Also in my community, the Global Miranda Miner community, I know we're almost around 300,000 team members across different parts of the world, social media. It's also helped support Gala Games together with the awesome Jason Bitbender Brink and of course Michelle in Gala Discord community. That's it for us, guys. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat. Good evening and have a good rest of your morning there, Jason and Michelle, and good evening in the Philippines. Mabuhay.
Salamat,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Mabuhay.